Hi, fourth period drafting students. I have I have an early Christmas present for all of you. It's another video from your teacher. I'm going to show you how to draw this propeller. A lot of you asked for this video, and I didn't have time to draw it this week and record it. So I'm going to record it and show you guys the step-by-step procedures to draw this. So it's very similar to the flywheel that we did where we're going to use the polar array. And what we do first is we first draw the shape of the propeller and then we array it around a bunch of times. So here you can see it arrayed around twice. Over here it's 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And then I have you scale them down using the scale button. So some things to think about when you build this. I like to start down here and draw the base of it, these circles here. And then the new command that I'm going to teach today is it's the tangent circle. So we learned circles before, but there's a new circle called tangent radius. And we're going to look at that. That lets us drop a circle in between two other circles when you specify the radius. So let's get started. Here's my drawing screen. I'm going to select circle tool. Let me double check what size my first one is. It has a radius or it has a diameter of 20. So be careful when you guys draw this that you recognize the diameter symbol and differentiate from the radius symbol because that will mess you up. So diameter and radius. So I think that was 20. Let's go with circle and we're going to call it 20. Enter. And then I'll zoom in a little bit. And then the outside one had a radius of 36 and they're concentric, so I can snap to the center of the first one and make a little bit bigger one and say 36, enter. And now if I go back to my demo here, I see some big arcs up here. I have one that's a radius of 50, so I can use the circle command and make a radius of 50 circle up here and then put another one over here. But I need to know where to locate them. Well, there's this trusty old witness line over here that says it's 96 units away from the center to the center of this circle, which is a radius of 30. The radius of 50 is 96 minus 20, so 76 over there. So I'm going to do a construction line and show you guys how to locate these other arcs, which are big circles that you get to trim away. So let's hop back over to the drawing screen. I'm going to select the line command and move this down, and I'm going to snap to the center, and I'm going to go up 76 and hit enter, and I'm going to go up another 20 in the vertical and hit enter, and then escape. And now I have some points that I can snap to when I draw these other circles. So the first one was up here at the top, and I'll snap to the end point, and that one was a radius of, let's check, radius of 30 at the top there. So let's say radius, make sure, specify the radius, diameter, radius. Okay, so I actually may have messed up on my first ones. I didn't follow my own rules, you guys. I didn't look at my circle. Diameter 36. Let's just make sure that has a, okay, it has a diameter, has a radius of 36. I need it to have a diameter of 36, so I need to shrink that down to 18, enter. And now it's inside of my other circle, and the other one needs to have a radius of 10 and a diameter of 20. So if I double click on it, or click on it once, I can make this 10. And now that looks better. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to get the ones at the top. Let's get the circle tool. Let's click here, and it has a radius of 30, enter. And I'll select the circle tool again, and the other endpoint of that first line that was 76 units here, and I'll make this one a radius of 50, And then what we're going to do is we're going to make two little arcs down here, and we're going to introduce the tangent radius circle. So if I click on circle command here, and in the command line it says tangent radius, I'll select that one. And then you can see the tangent line, it's trying to snap to a tangent of this circle. So it's going to pick the closest point that it can on this circle here, and it's going to pick the closest point it can over here while maintaining a radius of whatever we specify. So let's go look. It's a radius of 20. So I'm over here and I'll type in 20 and push enter, and my little circle pops in there as tight as it can between these two. So I know the radius of that arc is going to be 20. And I'll do the same on the other side, and it'll be a radius of 8, I think. Let's look. Radius of 8. Yep. Okay. Let's come back to the circle. Let's pick the tangent radius, and we'll come over. We'll select the tangent on this side and the tangent on this side, and I'll type in 8 and push enter, and it made a little bit smaller one in there. And now what we need to do is we need to get a line tangent between this arc and the inside of this arc. And the way you do that is click on this line command and make sure that your tangent option is selected. And if you hover over here, well, let's turn off everything else so we can just get the tangent. Take center line off. There we go. Now I can get my tangent there. And I'll zoom in on this one and I'll get a tangent there. And I'll hit escape. And now my object is taking shape, and all I have to do is really trim it, and we're going to have a propeller. So I'll come over to the modify button. I'll click trim, and I can start trimming away the parts that I don't need. So I don't need that one. I don't need that one. I don't need that one, or that one, or that one, or any of these guys, or those guys, or those guys, that one, that one, that one. Take care of this circle. Oops, I missed it. Let's get that trim tool back up. And let's get that circle. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's get rid of that construction line. I'll just delete it. And there's my propeller. So now we need to array this propeller a couple different times. So let's do the draw tab. Let's click on array. Let's select the objects that we would like to array. So I'm going to select all of these arcs I made and that line, and you can see it's highlighted. It's not going to hit anything else. So now that I've selected my objects, I can hit enter, and I'm going to do the polar array, and it asks me to specify the base point, and the base point that I want is going to be the very top where those two circles connected. And that doesn't look right. Let's redo that. Let's escape. Let's undo. Let's say array, and I'll select my objects again. And hit enter. I'll do polar array. I'll select the base point. I think I didn't click base point last time, so I'm going to snap to that. And I'm also going to snap to the very outside edge, and I'm going to snap to, I got to get my center snap back on so I can snap to the center of that circle. I'm going to snap to the center of that circle, and now it arrayed it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I don't want 6, so I'm going to change that to, let's start out with 2. Here we go. Okay, so there's my 2-blade propeller. Now to get this, to make a copy of this, Oh, I guess what I should have done is I should have copied it first, and then we could have arrayed it. But let's try let's try um, let's try going to modify and copy and select the objects I want to copy. So I'm going to copy everything right there. Oh, it picked up the array too. So I think what I'll do is I will go back a step until I get to here, and I want to make a few copies of this so I can array them a few different times. So select all these and hit enter. Specify the base point. Let's just pick any old base point and drag and drag. Maybe give yourself a little more distance, drag. I think 4 is all we needed, right? I need to move this one. This one's too close, so get the move tool, select that one, enter, specify your base point, and maybe move that one up out of the way. Okay, now we have 4 different propellers and I can array them differently. So let's go back and I'll show you the array one more time. Draw screen, array, and you're going to select only the arcs above it. You don't need to select the circle at all. And that looks like we got them. Hit enter, pick polar, select base point, go to the intersection of those 2 circles, click, and also get the center point of the circle. And center point's off again, so I've got to turn that on. And click there, and it gave me 6, but this one I only want 2, so I'll punch in 2. And there's my 2-bladed propeller. Now I'll show you guys a 3-bladed propeller. Let's see here. Let's do an array. Let's select what we want to array. Let's hit enter. Let's pick polar. Also pick the base point. We'll come up here, we'll find the intersection of those 2 circles. We'll find the center point of our center circle, and it gave me 6 again, but let's make this one 3. Items and 3, enter. So there's a 3. Oh, we missed a circle. You can see in the array that we missed one. So it's awfully important to remember that we have to pick up all of our objects. So that's something to keep in mind. If you miss selecting something, it won't array it. So let's go over here. Let's do a 4-pronged propeller. We'll select the array. We'll select all. We'll get real close. Okay, that looks like we got everything. And we'll hit enter. We'll do a polar. We'll pick a base point. And this is the line that we want to draw right down to the center. And we'll do items. We'll do 4. Okay, and it looks like it got them all. Except for this time, there's a few lines that cross, so you might want to get in here and trim these up a little bit. Use the modify, do the trim button. You can zoom in real tight, and you can feel free to trim maybe here or maybe over here. Let's see. It's not going to let you trim the crossing lines, but we'll just trim right there. And then it has a nice look to it. So clean them up and make them look good, and then oh, we have to scale them too. So the first one, let's just keep my original up there as a 1-to-1. Let's see. In the modify tab to scale them, you select the scale button right here. And let's see, what do we have those scaled at? So 1-to-1, and then the double bladed was a 0.75. So let's go over here to the double blade, select objects to scale, and I will do the crossing window. Oop, I might have picked up the wrong one there. Let's get the crossing window. And then I got that one, and I select it, specify the base point. I'm going to specify the exact center, and then you can see as you drag your mouse back and forth, it's a rubber band, it stretches it. but I'm going to type in point. Let's see here, specify scale. I'm going to type in 0.75 here on the command line, hit enter, and you can see it just got a little bit smaller. So I think the smallest one we had was a scale, a half scale, and I'll show you that with the 4 one. So let's select the scale tool again, and then we can select all of those, hit enter, specify the base point. Well, let's do the middle. I like doing the middle, that's easy. And then our scale is 0.5, and I'll hit enter, and it's about half as small as the original. So we learned a couple of new things in this video. We learned the tangent radius, placing circles between other circles. We also used the tangent line snap. We practiced our arrays just like we did with the flywheel, and we figured out how to scale something pretty easily, much more easier than drawing by hand using a scale ruler. So I hope this helps.